Buttonbear, Willowby, and Puddlehop stood at the prickly forest edge. They stared at the thorns all around. "Looks like a cactus party," Puddlehop said, bouncing like popcorn. The air smelled sharp, and even the wind felt pointy on their cheeks. Buttonbear hugged his paws to his chest, dreaming of soft hugs, but feeling nervous. Willowby, stepped forward, brushing aside a low branch. "Don't worry, we'll find a way to make it cozy," she said, smiling like she already had a plan. Puddlehop hopped over a root and nearly into a thorn bush. "Whoa, that bush tried to poke me first," he laughed. The path ahead twisted like spaghetti, and shadows danced like they were playing tag in the strange forest light. Behind a rock, a hedgehog child peeked out with wide eyes. Willowby smiled warmly and waved at her. Buttonbear whispered to Puddlehop, "She looks like she's wearing armor," and Puddlehop nodded with a grin. The hedgehog child stepped a little closer but stayed safe. "Hello," Willowby said gently, her voice like worn cocoa. Puddlehop pretended to measure the hedgehog's spikes with his hands, grinning as if he had found the world's spikiest ruler. Buttonbear imagined wrapping the hedgehog in a giant pillow. He chuckled and asked, "Do you ever get tickled by your own spikes?" The hedgehog giggled a little, her nose twitching like she was thinking about it for the first time. Willowby took off her scarf and puffed it up until it looked like a fluffy cloud. "This is the hug cloud," she explained. The hedgehog leaned forward, curious, her spikes tilting like tiny question marks. Puddlehop bounced around, slipping leaves between thorny vines. "Leaf shields," he announced proudly. Buttonbear joined in, layering soft moss over sharp twigs, making them look like green marshmallows hiding in the forest. The hedgehog child touched the moss and laughed. "It's like my spikes are wearing socks," she said happily. Willowby winked at Buttonbear, and he felt a small, warm spark in his chest. They walked deeper into the forest, leaving a trail of soft spots behind. "If a porcupine follows us, it might get comfy too," Puddlehop joked. Sunlight peeked through branches, making the thorns look less like trouble and more like glittery decorations. A squirrel darted past, carrying a tiny pillow. "Where did you get that?" Buttonbear asked. The squirrel pointed at their moss piles and ran off with a squeaky laugh, as if it had stolen treasure from a giant. Willowby found a wide clearing packed with thorn bushes. "This is the prickliest party yet," she said. Puddlehop pretended to dance between them like a spiky ballet, twirling and hopping without getting poked once. Buttonbear placed a big blanket over the tallest bush. "Now it's a mountain of hugs," he said proudly. The hedgehog child clapped her paws, her spikes bouncing along like little drumsticks. More forest folk peeked out, rabbits, chipmunks, and a shy fox. Willowby waved them over with a gentle smile. "No pokes here, just jokes," Puddlehop added, making everyone giggle and step a little closer. Everyone helped cover thorns with feathers, leaves, and soft cloth. Buttonbear said, "Careful touches make safe places." The fox nodded slowly, as if testing the truth, then placed a tiny feather on a thorn. A breeze carried the scent of flowers through the forest. "Even the air feels friendly," Kira Willowby said. The hedgehog child bounced softly on a feather pile, smiling like she had just found a secret trampoline. Puddlehop showed the rabbits how to hop without bumping into thorns. Buttonbear taught the chipmunks to pat moss gently. The shy fox tried a slow paw hug, looking surprised when it felt safe and warm. Kira Willowby spotted a tall thorn tree with lonely branches. "Let's give it a feather coat," she said. Everyone helped cover it until it looked like a giant silly bird standing in the middle of the clearing. The thorn tree seemed to sigh with relief, branches bending gently. "It's smiling," Puddlehop said, pointing at the curve. Buttonbear laughed, imagining the tree telling terrible jokes to the nearby bushes. The hedgehog child hugged Kira Willowby very carefully. "It's like a warm cloud," she said. Buttonbear felt braver and gave her a small hug too, his paws sinking softly into her feather-covered spikes. All around, thorns had turned into feathers, and bushes wore mossy hats. The forest shone with laughter and soft footsteps. Puddlehop tried on a moss hat and bowed like the mayor of Comfy Town. Buttonbear, Kira Willowby, and Puddlehop stood together, looking at the gentle forest. "Hugs win," Puddlehop said proudly. Everyone agreed, and the warmth stayed forever, curling around the forest like a big, safe blanket. Buttonbear curled up between his friends and closed his eyes. The forest felt soft at last, and everyone could rest together.